Pooh Shiesty just dropped a new album while sitting in jail facing federal charges that could put him away for life. And instead of staying quiet, he used that album to basically narrate the exact crime prosecutors are trying to convict him for. I genuinely don't understand the thought process here. But let me break down what's actually happening, because this might be one of the most self-destructive moves I've seen from an artist facing real prison time. Quick recap on the actual case first. Federal prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty, along with Big 30 and 7 other men, lured Gucci Mane into what was supposed to be a business meeting at a Dallas recording studio back in January. According to the Justice Department, once they were alone, Pooh Shiesty pulled out an AK-style pistol and forced Gucci Mane to sign paperwork, releasing him from his 117 Records contract.
Shit, oh, shit. You dropping this done deal.
Bro, let them know
It's a
you
done
going
deal.
on, bro.
Why is it done deal?
Let them know you dropping me,
I
bro.
drop you.
No, say it,
Pooh
nigga.
Shiesty dropping 1017. Shout out to
Real nigga ain't never did no police shit or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on.
Bro, we just did that. That's done.
What you do?
You drop. You said you want to be dropped, you drop.
You signed the paper
I
and
signed the paper,
everything.
it's done.
After that, the rest of the group pulled out guns too and robbed Gucci Mane and the people with him of jewelry, cash, Rolexes, and designer bags. At one point, someone reportedly had a gun put to their head and believed they were about to be executed. And all of this allegedly happened on camera, with video showing Gucci Mane confirming on record that he'd been dropped from the label while someone stood nearby holding a weapon. So that's the case. Video evidence, eyewitnesses, a whole federal complaint laying out exactly what happened. And now, in the middle of an active case with that much evidence already against him, Pooh Shiesty releases an album where he basically confirms the entire narrative himself. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I cover cases like this regularly, and this one is genuinely wild to watch unfold in real time. On one track, he references Gucci Mane by name essentially, bragging about how he's not just talking about his lifestyle and his music, he's actually living it. He references Gucci's old King Gucci album title, while claiming that in the streets, he's the one running things now. On another song, he goes even further, describing how he asked for what he calls the bare minimum, and when he didn't get it, he says flat out that he took matters into his own hands. That's not subtle. That's someone basically confirming motive and confirming.
This department is laying out some details about this crime involving some big-name rappers, Gucci Mane, and 2 other industry pros who were apparently kidnapped and robbed, according to the Justice Department, by Pooh Shiesty, by Big 30, along with some others. A total of 9 suspects have been arrested. So here's what we know. These DOJ officials say Gucci Mane was lured into what was a fake business meeting in Dallas at a music studio that turned into what they called an armed takeover, where Mane and these others were held at gunpoint. This is back in January. They got robbed of their Rolexes, their cash, their jewelry. At one point, Gucci Mane was even basically forced to sign a release from a record label. Priscilla Thompson is joining us now. It is wild stuff, Priscilla. What else happened?
Yeah, Hallie, unbelievable, made for the movies kind of stuff. So Pooh Shiesty is signed to Gucci Mane's record label. So
that he acted on it. Here's the part that actually makes some sense as far as motive goes, even though it doesn't excuse what allegedly happened. According to what's being pieced together, Pooh Shiesty wasn't asking to be released from his contract entirely. He wanted his masters back. He felt like after years of a deal he signed before he had any leverage, after making Gucci Mane platinum records and real money, he'd more than paid off whatever advance he originally got. In his mind, giving back the masters was the least Gucci could do after everything he built for the label. Gucci apparently offered a bigger advance, a better percentage on future work, but wouldn't budge on the masters themselves. And according to the lyrics, that refusal is what pushed things over the edge. Drop your thoughts in the comments on this one, because there's actually a real conversation buried in here about how predatory some of these early record deals are for young artists who sign before they have any negotiating power. But here's where it goes from a legitimate grievance to a legal disaster. On another track, Pooh Shiesty raps about being pushed to the point where pressure makes even solid people turn into snitches. And given the federal case against him, cooperating witnesses, and video evidence, that line reads less like clever wordplay and more like an accidental summary of his own case. When you're facing charges this serious with this much evidence already stacked against you, doubling down in your music instead of staying quiet is about as risky a decision as you can make. And that's really the core issue here. It's not just that these lyrics reference general street life or exaggerated tough talk that rappers.
This business meeting was scheduled in January at a recording studio in Dallas, and Pooh Shiesty shows up with 8 other people. You mentioned Big 30. Also, his father was among those with him, and Gucci Mane shows up with 2 people. They're all in this recording studio together. Pooh Shiesty says to Gucci Mane, "Can we speak privately?" And he allegedly, according to this complaint, asked Gucci Mane to sign a release form that would release Pooh Shiesty from the record deal. Gucci Mane declined. They argue back and forth. Pooh Shiesty asks someone to bring him a bag and pulls out an AK-style pistol, according to this complaint, and demands that Gucci Mane sign this document releasing him from the recording deal. After that document is signed, then he goes on, Pooh Shiesty, to steal Gucci Mane's wedding ring, other jewelry, his wallet, and then the small group of individuals goes back out into the larger group that's in that recording studio, and apparently all 8 of the other men who were with Pooh Shiesty pull out guns and began demanding property from Gucci Mane and the men who were with them. So we're talking about Louis Vuitton bags, Rolexes, cash, wallets. There's even physical altercations where there are photos of people with scratches. At one point, the complaint says that there was a man who had a gun put to his head, and they believed that they were all going to be executed, but they were allowed to leave.
Do all the time for their image. These lyrics line up specifically with the actual details of the federal complaint, the request that got denied, the frustration behind it, and what he did about it. Prosecutors don't need much imagination to connect these dots. Courts have increasingly allowed rap lyrics to be used as evidence in criminal trials, especially when the lyrics reference specific, verifiable events rather than general bravado. And this isn't vague bragging. This is lining up almost word for word with the sequence of events laid out in his own federal indictment. This is actually part of a bigger legal debate happening across the country right now, where prosecutors in multiple states have started using rap lyrics as evidence in criminal cases, and defense attorneys and civil rights groups have pushed back hard, arguing that treating lyrics as literal confessions ignores the fact that rap is often exaggerated storytelling and artistic expression. Several states have actually passed laws limiting how prosecutors can use lyrics as evidence, specifically because of concerns about unfairly targeting.
One gonna file for with that Drake, I do focus, go ask about it.
I knew white most rappers. I'm finna tell you the difference. They trying to live what they rap. Meanwhile, I'm rapping how I'm living. Rapper wise, he might be king in the streets, something to govern. Or with that Drake, I do focus, go ask about it.
Rap as a genre compared to other forms of music. But even with those protections in some states, when lyrics describe events that match an active federal case this closely, with this much detail, that's a much harder argument for any defense team to make. This isn't a case of generic gangster rap being taken out of context. This is lyrics that seem to directly narrate the specific sequence of what prosecutors already allege happened. What's wild is that some people are actually finding his reasoning somewhat understandable, even while acknowledging what he did was completely wrong. The idea that you gave someone years of loyalty, generated real revenue for a label, and got treated like just another artist instead of getting rewarded for that loyalty, that's a frustration a lot of people in the music industry can relate to on some level. But there's a massive difference between being frustrated with your contract and pulling a gun on your label owner to force him to sign release paperwork. One is a legitimate grievance about predatory industry practices. The other is a federal crime that could end with a life sentence. There's also an interesting layer here about Gucci Mane himself. Pooh Shiesty apparently expected Gucci to still operate like the street-level artist he used to be years ago. Someone who'd reward loyalty and solidarity the way things work in that world. But the argument being made is that Gucci Mane isn't
eating Popeye selling dope off of Apple Watch. Rumor, I shook the pen just like I shook the streets. At first you said I was jail talking, now all of a sudden you believe in me. I ain't never needed no hoe. Always been what a hoe need. Took the critics, I beat the feds, that me. All I asked was the bare minimum. Hell, there's nuts on me. So I took it there. Yeah, you supposed to put hoes on their back. You put your on their feet, especially when they certified. Took their time and ain't screamed. Never got hold, never folded, and they putting on for the team.
That guy anymore. He's a corporate executive at Atlantic Records now, focused on the label's bottom line rather than personal loyalty to any one artist. Whether or not that's a fair characterization of Gucci, it does explain part of the disconnect that apparently led to all of this. None of that changes the legal reality Pooh Shiesty is actually facing though. He's reportedly looking at a sentence that could run into the decades. Some estimates put it around 47 years given the combination of charges. He's still in his 20s. A sentence like that isn't just long. It's effectively a life sentence given average life expectancy and every additional piece of self-incriminating material he puts out into the world. Whether it's the original crime being caught on camera or now these lyrics laying out his own motive and follow-through, makes it that much harder for any defense strategy to work. If this video helped you actually understand how serious this situation is, smash that like button, because these cases move fast, and I want to keep you updated as new developments come out. At the end of the day, whatever legitimate frustration Pooh Shiesty had with his contract, whatever loyalty he felt he was owed after years with the label, none of that justifies pulling a weapon on someone and forcing them into signing paperwork at gunpoint. That's not a contract dispute anymore. That's armed robbery and kidnapping under federal law. And now, instead of staying quiet and letting his legal team work with whatever defense they can build, he's out here releasing music that reads less like art and more like a confession set to a beat. I'll keep tracking this case as it moves toward trial, because based on everything that's already public, this doesn't look like it's heading anywhere good for him. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Were these lyrics a smart move or the dumbest possible decision he could have made right now given everything he's already up against? Peace.